It's a pleasure to be on TEDx, and I want to start my talk on the power of skill to scale with a confession. Had I known what I'm going to share with you today at this stage in the beginning of my career, I would have grown at least 500% more. But when this realization came to me, something shifted in me. My mindset shifted. And that is what I'm going to talk to you about. I've spent more than 23 years in newsrooms, and let me tell you that broadly there are two kinds of people in newsrooms. One, who are razor sharp, very creative, and truly brilliant. And two, ones who are known as brilliant by the world. And trust me, they're not always the same people. How to transition from being good at something to being known for something is something I want to talk about. For me, I followed an adage, a line, and I've practiced it, I've believed in it, and I have internalized it. It's called excellence is an antidote to mediocrity. I don't want this to be just a statement. Why? Just imagine there are two doors in front of you. A lot of you are you are college students, and you would be venturing into your professional journeys very soon. So think of these two doors in front of you where you are armed with the professional degree, and you step into your professional space, and then after some time with your skills, you move ahead. If you're not reinventing yourself and keep doing your regular work, you hit this door and you stay here. While this door is for people who keep pushing themselves. If you're reinventing yourself, you're learning something new and unlearning as well, this door opens. And this leads you further to many other doors leading to your scale up. This is a very short and simple way of looking at it. You know, the world is full of skilled people. Skill is something that gets you placed, it gets you hired, it gets you a living, it gets you an identity. But the world does not reward skill. World rewards your ability to scale this skill into something magnificent, into something that is more impactful, something that is not ordinary. More so in today's times when there's AI all around us. When a lot of skills we know have almost been wiped away and are set to be wiped in coming months and years. So how do we reinvent ourselves? And how do we deal with the failures and adversities that come our ways is something I'd like to discuss. Let me start with a small story. Long time back, there was a girl. In her teens, she was quite shy, timid, and introvert. Though sharp in intellect, but she hesitated to express herself, even to her own parents. When guests would come knocking at her door, she would hide behind because she didn't want to make eye contact with them. She wasn't comfortable being social. Destiny put her in a role where she just spoke and talked whole day round. So much so that her jaws would start paining. Her parents were surprised at this transformation. They couldn't believe this is their own same girl who didn't like to talk. A skill was acquired by this girl. That was me more than 25 years ago. I didn't know where this skill would take me. Here I am at TEDx, and this skill still continues to scale up. How did I do it? It was not offered to me on a platter. I'd like to share that I was heartbroken. I was shattered. I had a lot of hopes being dashed out. That is how my career began. It's often said the best things in life often come unannounced and unplanned. Mine is such case. I wanted to be an architect from India's top college, School of Planning and Architecture, which at that time had just 16 seats for the general quota, all India. I couldn't make the cut. I was disappointed. I cried and even fought with God. I wanted sweets. I got lemons. There were two options, either to make lemonade out of it or keep whining. I chose the latter. Because this adage that I said, excellence is an antidote to mediocrity, was somehow drilled at that time. That if I cannot be the best in what I want to be, I'll choose another direction where I can discover my best. In my wildest of dreams, I had never thought of being a journalist, of being on television, of being a broadcaster. But it just happened. And when it did, I did face a lot of challenges because I was a science student. I transitioned to humanities. I didn't know the ABC of economics, political science, international relations, or for that matter, creative writing as a journalist. I had to learn it from scratch. By the end of first year in Delhi University, I found myself at rank 3 on the podium in journalism honors in my college. By the end of 3-year course, I topped the Delhi University with gold medal and awarded a 5,000 rupees cash award, which was quite a lot in those days, right? By the Delhi government. I didn't know I was scaling up or not, but I was following something that I believed in, that I have to keep moving up. And nothing can stop me, even if it's not my way. I will find the way through hard work. Hard work is definitely important, but in today's times, you have to be smart along with doing hard work. So after this, I did my journalism in English, but at that time, there were very few opportunities left in English. So I transitioned to Hindi, learned everything from scratch. My first job was at Sahara Samay, and from there on, it just kept developing. I want to share a hilarious incident. When I left Sahara Samay after more than 2 years of anchoring there, and I joined NDTV in 2005, I came back to my first job, and the guards recognized me and said, "Ma'am, we've seen you at NDTV." I said, "Really? You never knew I existed here at your own office?" So that was something hilarious, but yes, things were looking brighter. But then a job of a news anchor is not a news reader. I've written a book about it, which is India's and South Asia's first book ever written by an anchor, called The ABC of News Anchoring by Pearson. And it talks about how challenging the work of an anchor today is in 24/7 live environment. You never know where a bomb would drop, where a scandal will break, who will be assassinated, or where what might happen. You have to be prepared for it. You are the face of the channel. You just can't say anything. There's no scope for error, and everything is live. A spoken word cannot be taken back. And you have to keep sharpening your skill every day. Would you believe that if I would go on vacation with my family, I would tell my family members not to dump the newspapers, because I would come back and reach every bit of it, to be prepared before I join back. I think these are little things that help my scale-up journey. I also want to talk about how I reinvented myself. I started with anchoring. I'm still an anchor after 23, 24 years, but that's not that's not my only identity. I am now an independent director certified by IICA. I have sat on 2 company boards. I've become an author. I'm now a podcaster. I do a lot of other things. I follow my passions. I became a purpose coach from Michigan University. I host people in my podcast. I do high-profile events. I've had the honor of sharing the stage with the current president of India, many chief ministers, and many cabinet ministers. This is not to tom-tom my achievements, but this would not have been possible had I stuck to my comfort zone. And that is what I want to talk about. The scale-up doesn't happen if you stick to your comfort zone. The scale-up happens when you listen to your inner voice that says, do something more. Realize your potential. And if you crush that inner voice, it is something that will never be helpful. So this thing happened to me several times, and that is when it resulted in the penning of my book, which I talked about. It also resulted in me leaving my well-settled job at NDTV to pursue my other passions. And till date, I can say I don't have any regrets. I've loved the journey so far, and that is why I often tell people, love what you do and do what you love. Because when you do this, there's nothing hard for you. You don't even realize how many hours or work you put into what you love, because you enjoy doing it. That is what I did. And an anecdote comes to my mind. While I was doing the morning band, which I chose and was one of the most difficult bands to do in news, because one had to get up at 3:30 a.m., get out by 4:15 a.m. in the morning, and get into office by 5, get ready with makeup in 20 minutes, and work on your links, write your stuff, and then go on air at 6 a.m. I did this continuously for 10 hours, and I chose this. And my colleagues said that, we are happy that you're doing this because we don't have to do this. I chose this because this gave me the space and possibility to realize who else can I be. It was difficult, but then it opened up doors for me. So that is what I want to say to you. Sometimes you have to make difficult choices because they open doors that you never know would exist for you. We have not realized our potential fully unless we take risks, and that is something that leads to that scale up. Also, when I said about comfort zone, I realized that, for me to grow wings, I need to step out. And something that has always helped me is that things may not go your way. It did not for me so many times. But when they did not go my way, I realized it was for good. When you look back, you realize you were not made to do something, or you didn't get something you really wanted to because something better was waiting for you. It's a way of how you look at things. You can always keep doing what you started with doing in terms of skill. I want to give an example of a lady who started as a sweeper, as a janitor at SBI, the State Bank of India, and she rose to the level of an AGM. Her name is Pratiksha Tundwalkar. I discussed this story in my first podcast on One Social. Can you believe this? A woman who was not educated enough rose to the rank of the AGM. I can be an anchor from day one to the end day, but that doesn't stop me from realizing what else can I be. The choice is ours. Are we ready to own that choice? More so in a very fast-changing world where things you never know will change in your favor or against you. So how do you keep pushing those limits to realize your best self is the essence that I would like to convey. I hope you got some value. Thank you so much.